Well, we are thrilled to have you all here in Pakistan with us. Most of you know us from Bunyaad Marketplace in downtown Lidditz, or you know us as being those rug people that come to fair trade stores across the US and Canada doing special events in our fair trade store, in our fair trade family stores of our fair trade family. I better stop while I'm behind. It's great to have you all here. So we're also thrilled to be joined not only in hosting this event tonight, but we're joined by Bev and Daphne from Canadian Fair Trade Network, who actually were the impetus to us saying, we need to do this again. So without further ado, I'll have Bev welcome everyone as well.
Welcome, everybody. So I'm Bev Taves. I'm the chairperson of the Canadian Fair Trade Network, or the CFTN. We have a couple of board members on with us. So there's Daphne Lewenstein and Ray Smith, if you want to give a wave. And our organization is a grassroots organization that connects and informs and supports fair trade advocates and volunteers all across Canada and brings them together with businesses, institutions, and government leaders so that we can build a robust social movement that works to advance the values and vision of fair trade. I'm coming to you from Treaty 7, the ancestral territory of the Blackfoot, Siksika, Piikani, and Stoney Nakoda First Nations, as well as the Red Deer Métis District. We are grateful for Indigenous elders and knowledge keepers, teachers and friends all here and all across Canada who can teach us their perspective on the land and also their traditional ways of being and doing. We are really excited to be collaborating with Jenni and Yousaf today and the owners of Bunyaad. We also want to thank everybody from Pakistan who is here with us today. It's 10 o'clock there and people are celebrating Ramadan, so they're fasting. And thank you so much for making that extra effort to be here with us today. I just wanted to say that Bunyaad is like Jenni said, we met at the Fair Trade Conference in February and just brainstormed and thought, let's do it. And here we are. And it's so exciting that here we are together today. Bunyaad is a company who's helping to preserve the rich cultural heritage of traditional rug making in all its myriad forms and styles in Lahore, Pakistan. They're providing vital and fair income to Pakistani rug artisans who otherwise would have very few sustainable outlets for their craft and artistry. The rug artisan group includes over 850 families from over 100 villages and involved in hand-knotted rug production. Jenni and Yousaf have been working with Bunyaad artisans in Pakistan since the 1960s and have a staff dedicated to educating customers about hand-knotted rugs and the fair trade difference, both in quality of life and quality of product. We are also happy to celebrate International Women's Day today, and so we'll also learn how fair trade positively impacts women. So on that note, I will give it back to Jenni. And again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much, Bev. We are thrilled to also be part of Canadian Fair Trade Network and really appreciate all that you do in furthering the education of fair trade across Canada. I also want to clarify one thing because my parents are online. I've been involved with Bunyaad for a long time, not quite as early as the early 60s, although some days when I wake up, I feel like it could be the early 60s. So we often talk about from loom to room. Well, this time I thought, since so many of you know us from the room portion, we just want to bring in Amr, who's back at Bunyaad Marketplace, our brick and mortar location in downtown Lidditz, Pennsylvania. And he's just going to show you some of the end product that we are all familiar with. And then we'll bring you back here to Pakistan and take you all the way to the village. So Amr, how are you today? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for joining. Well, here we are in the store. So let me just flip my camera around.
Well, sweetheart, you flipped it. You also muted. There you go.
All right. Can you see it?
I can see you.
Okay. I'm trying to flip this camera. Let's just do it this way.
That works.
All right. Yes. So this is what it looks like. What a finished product is. That is done about, 7,000, only 7,000 miles away from here. So, people looking at them. We have them throughout the stores. The store here, as you can see, along with all the other products and our frames here to a full range of things in this section right here. So yeah, and
So Amr, I believe
normally
you've
how
had a
we,
busy week this week.
yes, it's been
You want
it's
to tell
been
everybody why the piles look so low?
wow.
We
We
normally
just
have around 2,500 rugs in stock, but I think we now have how many in 2 different vans
I
and
think
trailers?
we're probably we're about 700 plus rugs less than what we had a week ago. So I would say that these piles, you could hide one person on the other side and not see where they are, but now you can see everything. So yeah, this is looking a bit. I should say normal because we usually have 2 vehicles loaded, move around as we go. See many of you in those stores.
So if you are in Louisville, Kentucky, or St. Louis Obispo, or those 2 locations, or
Cincinnati.
in the Cincinnati area, know that the rugs that are coming to you are already tucked into the van and trailers and are getting ready to make their journey. So Amr, thank you very much. I hope you have a nice morning there in Lidditz, and we'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. All right. Thanks so much. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much. So I have to say, it's really nice to have so many people who are helping out with keeping me legal with my 5 pages of notes. I'm normally not a huge note taker, but to keep me on script, I actually wrote up a script. So like Bev said, it is just a bit past 10 here in Lahore. Lahore is on the eastern side of Pakistan, about Yousaf, 60 miles from the border. Well, not even 60, no, 35, 40 miles from the border. We are in the province of Punjab, and Lahore is the base for Bunyaad, where the warehouse and the finishing center is located. And then, as Bev said, we work with around 100 villages throughout Pakistan. And but it would be really fun to find out how many villages are out there represented on this call tonight. So if you don't mind putting in chat where you're joining us from tonight, we're going to make certain that this is Laura and Sandra are going to read through, just so that all of the artisans on the phone call tonight and who are behind me are hearing how many different places are represented. I think that was the big takeaway from last year, where when we got done, everyone here in Lahore kept going, I can't believe, I talked to someone in Calgary tonight, and I talked to someone in California, and they were all here. It was really pretty amazing. So Laura and Sandra, where are people joining us from?
Waiting for a few more to come in through the chat. We're sitting here in St. Catharines, Ontario, but I see a few people from Coburg, from Calgary.
Oh, they're sending them all a direct message to me. That's why. So Toronto, Montreal, Toronto, Brandon, Manitoba, Guelph, St. Louis Obispo, which I'm worried I'm really messing up that pronunciation, Lynn-Ann. So we can talk about that when I come out to the rug event. From Lidditz, Pennsylvania, from Olds, Alberta, Pella, Iowa, Regina, Saskatchewan, Overland Park, Kansas, Lethbridge, Evanston, Illinois, Lenexa, Kansas, Stockton, California, Elkins, West Virginia. Wow, it's lovely to have you all here. So, as you know, it is International Women's Day. And I don't know about you, but I can't think of a better way to empower women than through fair trade. When people are paid fairly, they can stand up and focus on their rights, and have a strength of voice to say, no, this is what I need. Over 50% of the artisans that Bunyaad works with are women. And we are thrilled tonight to actually be joined by several. But first, I have a little bit of a surprise for later in the evening. All I ask is between now and the end of the call, if you could all gather something sweet, be it a cookie, if you must, be good, an apple, something sweet that you will be joining us in a traditional Pakistani tradition. So just grab something sweet to have beside you, and I'll tell you when we're all going to eat it together. Now, sit back, buckle your seatbelts, because we are going to first head out to the village of Daranwala. Life in the village starts early. Life in the village during Ramadan starts when some people are really just going to bed. Many people during Ramadan are waking up between 2:30 and 2:45 in order to eat breakfast and say their prayers before sun rises. So we are tickled to be joined by several women from the village of Daranwala who will need to be up early because breakfast needs to be made before the family wakes up. So we're going to go to them first. They are joined by Anwar Sardar, who is the village supervisor for that region. So I am going to turn this over to Yousaf. And if you can multitask, Lara and Sandra will be putting a link in the chat about where the village of Daranwala is located if you want to look it up on the map. So Yousaf, take it from there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lahore.
You are muted, sweetheart.
Hello.
And for those of you who don't know Yousaf and I, we met back in 1994, and in 2000, we sort of realized that we enjoyed working together and being together. And in 2003, you could say we tied the knot. Ha ha, little rug joke there. He has been my husband now for almost 22 years. So there you go, sweets. There's your intro.
Well, it's nice to be talking to all of you, especially our Canadian, our Commonwealth friends, where we don't have to worry about, charging each other any special duties or taxes. So we trade, we do free trade with each other. So I just want to say that this is quite an honor, not only just for me, but also for our artisans in the village. It's very unusual for most of these artisans, never done this before. So we're gonna start with our village supervisor Anwar, who's himself has made rugs for a long time. Actually, grew up in a rug making family, and have learned art from on a personal level at some. So we have two artisans working on the loom right now, two women who, like Jenny mentioned, or otherwise we have so many of the women artisans are just, with the Ramadan, it's pretty hard to make this happen otherwise, and plus the timing as well. So anyway, Anwar, could you tell us more about the artisans?
Yes. First of all, I want to say best wishes to all these pretty ladies on this special day.
It's saying wishing all the women a wonderful day, on a Women's International Day.
तो इस वक्त हम डेरियावाला में हैं, विलेज डेरियावाला में.
And right now we're in the village of Daranwala, which is very closely located to the border, very close to the border, actually almost the last village before you enter into India.
Yes. और हम तकरीबन 20 साल से हैं आप काम कर रही है कलीनों का बुनियाद के साथ, बुनियाद या इससे पहले.
He himself has been working with Bunyaad for over 20 years now. And of course, Bunyaad has been around for much longer, but he himself has been associated with the rug program for 20 years now.
और इस तरफ हमारी साइड पे जितने भी कारीगर हैं लोग, ये तकरीबन 75% जो है ये खवातीन काम कर रही हैं हमारे साथ.
In our part of the region, more than 75% of the artisans that make rug are women. So hence this becomes a very special, not only a day, but also a special opportunity for them to talk to you all around the world.
इस वक्त ये दोनों जो सिस्टर्स हैं और रियल सिस्टर्स हैं और तकरीबन 22 साल से ये काम करती हैं कारपेट्स का. इनके हस्बैंड दूसरा काम करते हैं ये, लेकिन ये अपने घर में कारपेट मेकिंग, रग्स मेकिंग करती हैं ये कारपेट्स का, और बड़े अच्छे तरीके से अपने खानदान के साथ पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, बच्चों को पढ़ाने के लिए, अपने घर को चलाने के लिए.
They're both her sisters. They've been working together as on the same loom for 22 years. Their husbands have a jobs other places, but they also have the ability to earn a good, fair income working from home and raising their family and making sure that they have a better future for their children. And that's the ultimate goal they have. So to have this flexible opportunity working from home is a pretty unique thing.
और ये अगर रात को चाहें तो रात को भी अपने घर में काम कर लेती हैं, दिन को चाहे तो दिन को भी घर का भी काम करते हैं, और कारपेट का भी जब चाहे ये करते हैं, और इसलिए बहुत खुश हैं ये अपने काम के साथ कि कोई बंदिश नहीं है टाइम की.
Since the loom is in their home, they can work anytime, and especially being sisters, anytime they work late hours or early morning. So it's pretty flexible for them to join hands together to have earn a fair living, because not only it's a fair living, it's also something, a hobby they have for making rugs. So they really enjoy creating unique rugs every single time.
और विंटर सीजन में स्पेशली रात को काम करते हैं, क्योंकि रातें लंबी होती हैं, बड़ी होती हैं, तो आराम के साथ कमरों में ये दरवाजे बंद करके कमरे गर्म होते हैं, तो इतनी सर्दी का भी मसला नहीं होता, तो लेट नाइट तक काम करते हैं.
Okay. And then because of, especially in the winter, people usually go to bed early too, but also the nights are pretty long, and having a loom in their home, that also gives them quite a bit of flexibility too. चाचा इन्होंने थोड़ा जो ना पूछो जरा डायरेक्ट उन्होंने भी गल कराओ, ठीक है, ताकि कोई अगर सवाल पूछना चाहते हो भी पूछ सकें, ठीक है. हाँ जी, थोड़ा आगे आ रहे हो. The problem with the loom is like you have to sit behind and then you trying to come out forward, and because they were like, can we just open the threads of the loom so we can talk to people? They're saying greetings to everybody. So that's Shazia talking right now. So she said, I've been working with the rugs, and especially with the rug program for 21 years. We're very thankful, and very happy that we have this flexible opportunity. We can sit on the loom whenever we want to and get up when we want to. चाचा ने पूछो किड़े किस किस्म दा कनीन बनाते हैं, जरा उन्होंने थोड़ा जिहा ना कोल करके दिखाना, उन्हीं फंदे लगदे भी दिखाना.
मोरी बनाते ने कलीन.
Okay, so they are usually known for making Bukhara rugs, and of course among Bukhara rugs you have the geometrics and even the floral designs. So there's quite a range when it comes to Bukhara rugs. And this region where these artisans are, that is one of the style of rugs that artisans region is known for. Chet, Chet, could you put the camera a little closer so they can see the Chet? जरा कैमरा करीब करना ताकि वो देख सकें.
अच्छा कैमरा करीब कर. No.
Okay, so that. जी हाँ ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा एंगल हो गया. हाँ जी. हाँ जी. किन्नी ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਲਗਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? So how many knots can you do in a day?
ਇਹ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 3 ਕਾਗਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾ 2.5 ਤੋਂ 3 ਕਾਗਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਚ.
So they're working on a 3x5 rug right now, and they're saying they can finish roughly about 40 to 50 lines on a 3x5 together. Sorry.
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਰੋਟੀ ਵੀ ਘਰ ਚ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ
I don't know what happened. अच्छा ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਕੈਮਰਾ ਔਨ ਹੈ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੋ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣਾ ਚਾਚਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੋ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਚਾਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ. I'm saying maybe they want to ask questions to all of you, because since usually it's always people asking questions to the artisans. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ? ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੋਂ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ ਲੋਕ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਉਂਦਾ?
ਭਾਈ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੰਮ ਤੋਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਪਲੇਨ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਤੋਂ?
Are you guys happy with the rugs that we make? That's the question. ਸਭ ਲੋਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨੇ, ਸਭ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਦੋਵਾਂ ਥਾਂ ਨਾਲ.
ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ, ਖੁਦਾ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰ ਹਾਂ.
And they say because of that, we're very happy and we're very thankful for the opportunity this provides us. And not only that, that the flexibility it provides us for our family. That's a hugely important.
Yousaf, I just want to step in here, and Ingrid Pauls from Guelph, Ontario says, yes, I have 3 of them and I love them all.
ਆਪਣਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੈਂਟ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 3 ਕਲੀਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੇ ਪਸੰਦੀਦਾ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਲੀਨ. ਲਿਹਾਜ਼ਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੋਕ ਇੱਕ ਕਲੀਨ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ.
And 2 other comments, Yousaf. For some reason, I think all the messages are coming to me, so I'm just going to interrupt here. Carol says, I wonder actually if you made the 2 little ones I love, if they're from your village. And Crystal from Winnipeg says, I have a Bukhara in blue and I love it so much. It's in my bedroom.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਲੀਨ ਹੈ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਬਣਾਏ ਹੋਣ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ, ਔਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੇ ਪਸੰਦ ਨੇ ਕਲੀਨ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਲਿਹਾਜ਼ਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ.
Carol, if you'd like to unmute and actually say something directly to Shazia, feel free.
Oh, wow. I don't know who can see my little rug.
I can. It's a 1x1 blue Mori Bukhara.
Yep. And I have another one that's a lighter color.
ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਦਾ ਕਲੀਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੋਰੀ ਵਾਲਾ, ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ. ਤੇ ਯਾਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਸੰਦ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਲਿਹਾਜ਼ਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਇਹਨੂੰ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ.
ਚਾਚਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਿਹਰੇ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਕਰਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਮਤਲਬ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਹ ਦੋਨੇ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਕਰਨਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਠੀਕ they're just so happy to see you guys all this is like quite unique for them and as much as is a rare opportunity for you guys
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you so
कहने के
much, Carol.
बहुत शुक्रिया
So Yousaf, I have a question. Now, it sounds like I heard there's quite a few years of experience behind that loom. I think I would love to hear, hello there, assalamu alaikum, ya hale TikTok. I would love to hear from them, what's their favorite part of being able to work from home? I think from all of us, you know, during COVID was the first time many of us understood the importance of having a job that you could work from home and still earn a fairer wage. What does it mean for them? What are some of the things that they do? I know I need to give you time to translate.
ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਭੈਣ ਸ਼ਾਜ਼ੀਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਜਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਵੈਸੇ ਵੀ ਯਾਨੀ ਘਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰੀ ਕਮਾਣਾ ਬੜੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੱਡੀ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਬਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਦੂਰ ਜਾਓ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਯਾਨੀ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਸ ਕੰਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਬੜੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਜਾਂ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੜੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਆਸਾਨੀ ਸੀ ਖੁਦਾ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰੀ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਸੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਵਕਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਇਧਰੋਂ ਉਧਰ ਰਾਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਮਾ ਕੇ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਖੁਦਾ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰੀ
ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਰੋਨਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਰੋਨਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਰਾਸ਼ਨ ਏਡ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸਨ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਚ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਮਾ ਕੇ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ
So one of the biggest statements she's saying, Shazi is saying, that during COVID, people were looking for aid, like help from others, and we were making living sitting in our own homes and making a fair living wage. That means a lot to us, and not have to go anywhere, not have to, you know, beg for anything, not have to worry about how we're going to make next meal, how we're going to have food on the table. And that's the difference of fair trade. And so to go through that phase for a year and a half, that was pretty special, and we're very thankful for that.
Yousaf, I have another question from Sonali. Sonali asks, how do they pass this knowledge to their next generation? Or maybe I'd rephrase it to how are they passing this knowledge to the next generation? Is that something important to them?
ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਲੀ ਨਸਲ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਹੁਨਰ ਸਿਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਹੁਨਰ ਖਤਮ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਔਰ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਇਸ ਹੁਨਰ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਨੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਪਣਾਉਣ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ ਕਾਲੀਨ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਾਲੀਨ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਣ ਕੁਝ ਲੋਕ ਅਗਰ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਅਗਲੀ ਨਸਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਇਲਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਰਹੇ
ਘਰ ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੋਂ ਸਿਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿਸੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਖਿਆ ਸਿੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਆਜੋ ਨਾ ਸਿਖਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ
so she has older sons and they're making sure that they learn that because they believe that the older kids would learn and they can sort of entice others to learn this too but they're also going for schooling so this is now on top of the other things that they do so they're making sure that this gets passed down to the next generation.
Yousaf, I have another question, but this one we're going to have Daphne ask directly. So Daphne, if you want to unmute, I'm going to add you to the spotlight.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi. Yeah, my question is is a little bit similar to the last question, actually. I want to know, like, how did you learn to make rugs? Was it also passed down from your family? And how long did it take you to learn? So, and one more question. What's your favorite part of rug making?
ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਔਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਕੰਮ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਸੰਦੀਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਸੰਦ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ
ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਹੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਚਾਚੇ ਤਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੋ ਬਾਈ ਜੀ ਅੰਮੀ ਅੱਬੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਤਰਵਾਰ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਲਈ
So her parents, her aunts and uncles, everybody knew how to make rugs. So this got passed down through, you know, the parents and the elders of the family, and now they're making sure that this gets passed down to the next generation, and that's why she said, you know, our sons are older, and they're the ones who are getting to know this first.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਿਸ ਵਕਤ ਕਲੀਨ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਤੇ ਆਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ
He said, so they're saying every time the happiest moment in our life, every time we're about to finish the rug, so A, we're thinking of A, we're done with one rug, and B, that we're thinking of the next rug. So it was the most joyful moment for us.
Sorry, now that I'm the conduit for.
ਕਲੀਨ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਨ ਤੇ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਸੂਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੇਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਛੋਟਾ
So they said, you know, when we always finished the rug, there was always a reward from the parents also, from the elders. They always got a new clothing, new shoes. So that used to be part of the enticement, you know, like you're working with us and here's the reward beyond the income. So there was this joy to finish a rug.
Yousaf, I have another question from Bumi. Bumi, would you actually like to ask it directly? Hold on a sec. Let me find you. Bumi, if you unmute, I'll find you easier. I say with confidence. Ah, there you are.
I can't hear anything. Sorry, we can't. Yeah, this is better. Now we hear its sound.
Okay. So my question is that in that place, how many other families are associated in the Daryanwala? Like, और कौन से families वही area में associated है?
That's where the rug program started in Daryanwala village. In the region, at one point there were more than 300 families. Now there are roughly about 70 families in that region. Because what happened is Bunyaad is designed to move into places where there's a need for more help. So in the past, like 15, 20 years ago, we were not established in the southwestern part of the country. And now there's a lot more emphasis on that region because the southern part of Punjab region in Pakistan was like neglected financially and with opportunities. So we've been focusing for the last 10, 15 years a lot more, mainly because this region is quite developed. There's education, there's other opportunities that are emerging. And just to give you an idea, they had a first medical students batch just graduated. 70% of them are all girls. So there's a lot more education in the region. And so as we see the need to move to areas where there's less opportunity, that's where we go. And so we moved a lot more in the Southwest region in the last 10, 15 years. But this program started back in this region back in the 60s. So
Wow.
together there's over 850 families and roughly about 70 in this region.
Yousaf, I have another question. It's coming to us from Bev in Olds. So I'm going to add her to the spotlight and she's going to ask her question directly.
Hello.
Sure.
I'm wondering, how do you pick your color combinations, and do you tend to always make your favorite colors?
And that's to Shazia and them. Okay. Question. कह रहे हैं then Shazia वो पूछ रही हैं आपसे कि ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਲਰ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਲੀਨਾ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਸੰਦੀਦਾ ਕਲਰ ਹੈ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਲਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਹਰ ਕਲੀਨ ਚ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਲਰ ਸਕੀਮ
ਨਹੀਂ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਸੰਦੀਦਾ ਕਲਰ
ਇਹਨਾਂ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ
ਦੇ
ਕਰ ਰਹੇ
ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਨਾਰੀ ਰੈੱਡ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
ਰੈੱਡ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕਾਰੀਗਰ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਡਾਰਕ ਕਲਰਸ ਨੇ
ਹਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ
ਇੱਕ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬ੍ਰਾਈਟ
ਹਾਂਜੀ so they generally like to work with traditional like reds and blues because that's the traditional colors they grew up with and that still tends to be the strong colors that they like to work with mainly because it helps you layer the colors much better plus it's the traditional style of rugs.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bev. Yousaf, I have another question coming to us from Jim. Let me find Jim. Hold one second.
I see Jim Bowman. I see that.
All right. You see him. Yes.
Hello.
All right. Go ahead, Jim.
Question for me is, do you start with a new design every time? I hear about the colors, I understand that, but what is the design? Is that predetermined or is that something you put together on each rug? I don't know the rugs that well, so maybe the answer is self-evident that all the rugs are the same. I don't think that.
No, that's not the case.
So they're all different.
Yeah. I'm going to ask them a question, but I'll start with the answer and then let them answer too. Generally, each region has their set colors and certain designs also. So looking at a rug, even though 200 to 500 years from now, any person who's a rug expert can tell exactly where that came from. So just like the Amish doing the quilt. Hello? I can't hear anybody. Anyway, can I hear? Can everybody hear me? Okay, sounds good. Okay. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਫੈਨਸ਼ਾਜ਼ੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੰਗ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਨਕਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਏ ਉਹ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਉਹੀ ਨਕਸ਼ੇ ਰਿਪੀਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਵੇਂ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਕਸ਼ਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜੇ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਦਈਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਾਈ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨਕਸ਼ਾ ਉਹੀ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਦਈਦਾ
She said we can pretty much do anything. You can give us a design and we'll make it for you. But also there's a natural desire to create their own design. ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਖੁਦ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਨਕਸ਼ੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਨੀ ਰੂਟੀਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਉਹ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਨਕਸ਼ੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ
ਆਹੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਗੋਲੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਪਰਾਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਤਿਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਮੂੰਝ ਬਾਨੀ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਬਣਾ ਲਈਦੇ
So they like to make the morigo with, one is called chirigola. That means with the sparrow with the wings spread out. That's one of the favorite design they have. And yes, they do, adapt and change their designs all the time, both in terms of themselves, but also willing to do anything that comes their way that, if if a customer says, I want this design, they can create that too.
And Yousaf, we have one last question for the women of Darinwala so that they can actually get to bed and we'll be moving on to the design department. The next question is coming from Sonali and Yousaf, she needs no translation and would actually like to give thanks directly. So, Sonali, let's see if we can find you. Sonali, do you have your camera on?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭੈਣ ਸ਼ਾਜ਼ੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਸੋਨਾਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਖੁਦ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਨੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਜੀ
ਸਲਾਮ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ
ਸਲਾਮ ਜੀ ਖੁਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਰਕਤ ਦੇ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤੀ ਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ ਹੋ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਸ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਅਦਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ
ਕੋਈ ਬਾਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਰਦੂ ਵੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ
ਪੂਰੀ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਰ
ਮੈਂ ਉਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਸੰਦ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਰੋ ਔਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ
ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ
ਚਲੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਰਕਤ ਦੇ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤੀ ਦੇ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖੇ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ
Thank you.
And Yousaf, can you translate what that gupshup was all about?
So they're saying, to Sonali that Sonali said that people really like your designs, the rugs that you guys make. So I encourage you to keep making those amazing, beautiful rugs, and we really appreciate those. And then they're saying, Shazia is saying that, yeah, but at the same time, we're very thankful for the opportunity and the commitment you guys have towards this program, because without that, this wouldn't work. So we are very thankful for everything that you guys do.
Well, folks, I know I hate to move on because I find this so totally amazing. Shazia, Anwar, everybody, I know it was no small feat to make this happen tonight. I cannot thank you enough for making it happen. And this, I have to say, is something I will certainly walk away in my heart having. So thank you very much. Folks, we have many more folks that are all lined up around going, hey, is it my turn? So thank you. We'll let Mala go to bed. Thank you very much. And so next off, we're going to be heading to the design department.
ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਭੈਣ ਸ਼ਾਜ਼ੀਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਸਭ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਪੌਣੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 11 ਵਜੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਨੇ it's almost 11 o'clock at their local time so it's no small feat for them to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਸਭ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ.
Now I should have mentioned
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ.
I should have mentioned our goal is to keep this to an hour. I think you can already see that we are not going to stop laughing. Julia, I can see that on your face. We are not going to make that for an hour. We want to respect your time, but I just want you to know there are so many people here that are so excited for this opportunity. So if you do need to go because you're in the middle of the store or your stomach is growling or the dog has to go out, we get it. We are recording this, and in the next week or so, we will be sending out this link. But just know there's a lot more to come. So if you can hang with us, we promise to not have you up as late as I have everybody up here tonight. So without further ado, rug designing. We're going to move over all the way from Darrenwalla, which is about an hour and a half away. We were actually out there. That was just yesterday. We were out there yesterday. We're going out again on Tuesday. And we're moving back into Lahore. So at the Lahore finishing and warehouse is where most of the designers sit. Some of the female designers work from another more neighborhood workshop. They are already in bed, but we made a short video just so that you could see them in action. And then we'll turn you over to some of the guys who are here tonight.
चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला लई किनारी चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला आया बारों रोंदे निकले अनारां दे शहरों चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला लाइए माया माही मेरा नहीं मिल आया चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी
I love birds. I love sketching birds.
चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी
Who could have thought?
So I gave you a quick glimpse into rug designing. Yousaf, I know you have people sitting beside you that you're going to introduce, but also just to give you the framework, we want to talk about how a rug design goes from a pencil sketch to the painting to the column writing. And then remember the little trick that we're going to show them? I'm talking to you,
Yes,
sweetie.
I'm listening.
All
Yes.
right, so I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, sounds good. So we're sitting with, of course, we have the whole group of designers here. Starting with Mansoor here. Mansoor has been working with the rug program for 15 years now? Yes. 15, yes. Mansoor can also understand English too, not as fluently, but just know that he can understand English as well. So Mansoor has 3 kids, 14, 13, and 7. And I remember when he had his first daughter and he came and told me her name. And I still remember that name. So, you know, every time I come back, I ask him about his daughter. And he's telling me that she's 14 and she's in school doing really well, looking forward to become a doctor. That's her dream. So just know that, you know, every kid has their, plans figured out. And and for Mansoor to go from a designer to have a child, become a doctor, that's a huge commitment that he wants to make sure that his kids are successful in life. They have a future that they choose to have, not that they're forced to have. So that for him, that's a huge part of the work that he does here, working with Bunyaad. Mansoor, कितनी देर हो गई भी काम कर रहे थे? 15 साल हो गए. So how many years it's been? He said 15 years. ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੇਨ ਕੰਮ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਮੇਰਾ color scheme exchange. So he's the color scheme guy, but also he's the guy who works with artisans, making sure that he communicates for anything special in terms of the colors that they need in terms of wool. So he's also in charge of the making sure that each artisan or individual group or the groups in the villages get the right type of wool. So he has 2 roles, the designing and then coordinating with the artisans. For example, can you show us grab a bunch of wool that is sitting there? We'll put it in this sample. So like this is his normal, his table gets used for not only for rug designing, but also coordinating all the colors, because he's the guy who knows each color has like a number. So he coordinates all that. So for artisans to call him and say, I need, 3 pounds of the number 432, he would have that wool. So he knows exactly where that is and how much they need. Like here, for example, he's showing me this is one of the new color that they did, number 506 in the recent time. So this is like there are always colors that they're working with, but because he's the designer, He's working with all the artisans who do designing. They're the one who are talking with everybody, and especially with the artisans in the villages. So this gives you a rough idea of how many colors any given time are in action. So there's like easily. So right now he said roughly about 80 different colors are in the phase of being used, and that doesn't include all the ones that they have already done. But those are the current colors that are in use. And just to give you an idea, these colors, many of these colors you'll see if you look at the Benjamin Moore, book of colors for 2024. You'll find those colors here. You'll find they're like the classic 20s colors. They're all here. So artisans are always sort of ahead of the trend, and so they're always the people who are thinking of the next thing, working with the artisans on the looms. So, yeah. Yes, So I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse of what happens here. I'm gonna walk around and, oops, why is my camera low? Okay, good. Okay, yeah, I'm good, sorry. Okay, sorry, and my camera is stuck on the blur part for some reason. It's not letting me do anything. So here we go. So Mansoor is working on the, putting the colors into the design, but it all starts back here actually. For example, Sunil, who is one of the designers of rugs, like an idea that they're working on. If you notice in the background, you'll see many rug graphs are in, like they will have those just because they're working on the next design, they're working, thinking of the next thing. So all those things are in motion in different places. So for example, Mazhar is one of the head designers. He's the guy who knows how to make birds and animals, and he can spearhead how to bring the whole image together. So for example, in this case, you can see how he's bringing a scene of the village together. So I'm going to go behind him. So
You talk, I'll hold.
Okay, go behind so they can see how. So right here, you can see how they've done a rug before, similar, but this is a 4x6 rug going to be showing a life in the village, everything artisans do and the farmers do. So, and then for this, they've chosen a special graph, the border that has lots of birds because it's very typical to see so many birds in those regions, even the migratory birds. So this just shows you all the creative things that they're doing. And then on top of that, the artisan will also have their own twist to when this rug goes on the looms. So this is just not, it doesn't stop right here. Haji Anwar, who's on the other side, who's the design, who puts colors into everything. For example, he's working on, this is an 8x10 rugs border. So I'm just going to show you the different colors he's doing. And so 16 colors in this rug. And as you saw, all the wool samples there. So he's creating this hugely unique color combination for an 8x10. So down the road, you'll see this rug emerge on the floor. And Haji Ali is basically, that's his nickname, but Anwar Ali is his full name, Muhammad Anwar. And he basically has been working with the rug designing for most of his life because this is his passion, something his uncle did too. A number of his family member designers. Of course, he had to go to school first before you start doing any of this. So after having a degree from school, he basically started learning how to do design work. And ever since he was able to do something, his uncle used to be part of Bunyaad, and that's how he joined Bunyaad. कितने साल हो गए बुनियाद से काम करते हैं? 20 years. He's been working here. So he hopes to retire from here someday because he loves designing rugs, but more importantly, he loves to be part of Bunyaad the way it works for him and his family. His kids are all in school and hoping to give them a better future every day.
Yeah. And then go up to Sunil.
Okay, so Sunil is the pencil sketch guy, as you can see. So he's the guy who really brings some basic design together. Now, yeah, so here, Mr. Lateef, Hanji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਲਮ ਲਿਖੋ ਜ਼ਰਾ. So he does the talam writing, and you can see this rug graph, for example, and he converts that design into graph, like right here. So that's what he's going to start working, so you can see everything in a real time. Okay. So that's his beginning of his work starts, you know. I think just watching him do this is quite fascinating. So I'm just going to put my camera here for just a tad. So you'll see how he pinpoints where he starts, and that's the number he's starting. And so this is like the first row he just started. And as you can see, he has like a special number for every number and a color for every group of knots that he punches together. So 19 copper knots, 2 blues, and 29 copper again, 3 blues again, 5 reds, 1 is purple, and then he has a number of purple. And 9 red, 3 white, 1 blue, and then 11 copper again. So this is how he just completed one row. Now just keep in mind, this is a Bukhara rug. This is not a Persian rug. The Persian rug will have 3 times more knots in the same area. So there's lots of variety of rugs gets done. So this is a Bukhara, whereas this one here is a Persian. And then you can see how tedious the design is. Edi talam te dikhana mori edi sutri di. Sutri tode di. So if this was a Persian one, so the difference is you can see how many more knots. So just to give you an idea how few knots that you see compared to here. This has a lot more knots. And so the artisan, of course, is going to spend more time and energy on a rug like this.
Yousaf, we have one question. Daphne is asking, wow, each line has to be written out in code. How long does it take? Let's say, how long does it take to write a code for 8x10 Persian?
ਪੁੱਛ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ 8-10 ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲਿਖਣਾ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਲਮ ਲਿਖਦਿਆਂ? So anywhere from 15 to 20 days up to, depending on the design, could be up to 40 days, just to write the top.
And Kara is commenting, I wouldn't want to make a mistake.
ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਸੋਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਕਰ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਮਤਲਬ ਮੈਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਨਾਟਸ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਅਗਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਗਲਤੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰਾ ਨਕਸ਼ਾ ਢਲ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋਏਗਾ
ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਤੇ ਕਰੀ ਦੀ ਕਿ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ
ਤੇ
ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਉਨੀ ਵੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਲੱਗ ਵੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਖਾਣਾ ਘੱਟ ਲਿਖਣ ਚ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਾਰੀਗਰ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਮਝ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਗਲਤੀ ਕੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਦਰੁਸਤ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦਾ
So he's saying basically, our effort is not to make any mistake. At the end of the day, we're human beings, so it's possible to make a mistake. At the same time, the artisans are smart enough people that they can correct our mistake. So it's very nice to be part of this equation where, they can catch our mistake. So at the end of the day, our goal is to make sure we make an amazing rug. कोशिश यही है ना कि बहुत जबरदस्त कलीन बन गया है हाँ जी कभी कोई ਉਹਦੇ ਚ कोई गलती ना होवे कोई कलीन बिल्कुल एक जैसा होवे yeah so the goal is to make a wonderful amazing rug every single time but at the end of the day we're human beings as well.
Yousaf, Sunil is already going to the next item. I don't even know if you told him that was the secret that we're going to show everybody. So did you ever wonder how only a section of a rug is graphed out, and yet they know what the entire design looks like as they're planning? It's called the mirror trick. And I have to say, there is nothing that I find more fascinating than the mirror trick. So take a look at this. Yousaf, tell him more.
Yeah, so here you can see what he's sketching on this side. In the mirror, he can see the other side of the graph too. So for him to be able to see that and just have a better vision of what the design would look like gives him a huge help. अगर शीशा ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਵੇ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਆਏਗੀ
जी सर डबल टाइम लगेगा क्योंकि दोबारा रिपीट करना पड़ेगा हाथ
This easily makes our work about twice if we don't have this mirror alone. So the mirror makes all the difference for them. Any question, please?
No, because I think everyone is sort of anxious for the next part as well. So a huge thank you.
See, this is what it looks like. So just so you know, this is what it looks like, when there's no mirror. But let's put the mirror back. You see how you can see the graph, the design? That's pretty cool, So the mirror is the trick.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone in the design department for being here tonight and sharing all that you do and that you love.
Oh, sorry, Yousaf, you're muted there. We could see the mouth move in.
Oh, sorry. They say they're very thankful that, that they get this opportunity because, without the opportunity, their passion or their desire wouldn't mean anything.
So we're in Yousaf. We're at the part of the night where we're going to practice a team chant. All right. So Lara, if you could highlight me. I'm someplace. Oh, hello there. All right. So here's what I need you all to do. All right. Yousaf will be scaling 5 flights of stairs to the rooftop where the finishing department is located. All right. So I know you're all muted. Stay muted. But I want you to send loud vibes out into the universe and say, go Yousaf, go Yousaf, go, Yousaf, because not only does he need to scale the 5 flights, he needs to not look winded by the time he gets up there. So while he's doing that, I'm going to talk very slowly because it's, that's sweet, sweetheart. There you go. You're moving, you're shaking. But we do have a little bit of in-flight entertainment for you because the pure reality is so much of the rug washing and finishing happens in the daylight. So again, we made a short video about what the finishing guys are normally doing during the day. And finishing is broken up into 2 parts. One part is the fine detail of the shearing and the cleaning and the edging and the fringes, and another is the washing. So we're going to the
समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए वारो वारी हण दे हाणी वारो वारी हण दे हाणी विछड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए कुछ मरे विच देस ते कुछ परदेसां विच कठिया नहीं सी रल के बहना लिखिया साडिया लेखां दे विच टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर खिलर गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए फटियां बसते पैलियां विच लकांदे एक दूजे कोल मच्छियां खो खो खांदे सां कुछ पड़ गए कुछ साडे वांगू कुछ पड़ गए कुछ साडे वांगू बिगड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए कद मुक जावन कीत बार ने सावां दे कद मुक जावन कीत बार ने सावां दे मिट्टी खा गई किन्ने बचड़े मावां दे असां भी ओथे ही जाना है सारे असां भी ओथे ही जाना है सारे किधर गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए वारो वारी हण दे हाणी वारो वारी हण दे हाणी विछड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए वारो वारी हण दे हाणी वारो वारी हण दे हाणी विछड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए कुछ मरे विच देस ते कुछ परदेसां विच कठिया नहीं सी रल के बहना लिखिया साडिया लेखां दे विच टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर खिलर गए
This. Let's see if he's made it. Hey, he's up there on the 5th floor. Way to go, Yousaf. Now, I'm just going to say a few words so you can catch your breath, even though it looks like you're still calm. A lot of what you just saw in the video is a lot of things that happen in rug finishing that are not fancy, are not talked about a lot. We talk about the designs, we talk about the actual knotting, but we don't talk about what it takes to take it from the loom to that absolutely amazing, perfect piece that you see on the sales floor. And I think the other part, I love sitting up on the roof and watching them work because they're the ones that take anything that's happened on the loom and make it right. So if there is a design that has maybe not come out perfectly or a slightly wrong color, or in some cases, sometimes the complete background color is wrong. And they will take out those knots and then put them in and retie them by a needle. It's absolutely amazing to watch. And what's amazing too is with Bunyaad, whereas if something like that happened in a non-fair trade world, those costs of fixing up that rug would be passed back to the artisan. Well, I don't know about you, if you're knotting 40 knots a minute at a rug that takes about 12,000 knots to complete, you're bound to make mistakes. Back to the artisan can learn from whatever mistakes they make, but it's not impacting them. That's something that Bunyaad covers. So Yousaf's going to talk to you a little bit more about all that goes on upstairs and introduce you to the team there. Yousaf.
Hey, let's unmute me.
Yousaf, you do need to unmute though, sweetie.
Yes, I did. I just did. Didn't? You guys can hear me? Okay, sounds good. I heard the nod from everybody, so that's a good thing. So I'm here with the finishing group of artisans, and we have Imran, and Wahid, who is the supervisor of this department, who has been spearheading the whole group because he knows many parts of this work. I mean, they all are pretty well versed in this artwork, and so, but Wahid spearheads this group. Wahid can do like finishing the rug. Can he repair the rug? He can pretty much bring any rug to life, from any level. So he's quite an artisan. At the same time, I think for me, the most exciting part is watching, the fringes being tied. So Imran, who's a person who ties the fringes on the coasters, I just want to see the speed that he can do this. To me, that's like a pretty amazing work that somebody could do. Look at the.
I think my hand would cramp up after about 10 seconds of that.
So that gives you an idea of the level of skill that these artisans possess, and the craftsmanship they have. कितनी 40 seconds. 40 seconds? Yes. So he can tie in 40 seconds all those fringes. Huh? He can even look up and do this without looking at the fringes. So he's going to demonstrate. चलो भाई शुरू कर दे ऊपर नहीं कर As you can see, he's not even looking at the fringes, and he's tying those fringes.
Yousaf, Lynn Rush asks, how do you separate the individual mug rugs and how are the sides finished? Lynn, you're just taking us right to the next, whoops, not the next part. Lynn, he'll be coming back for that answer in just a bit.
Yeah. Yes, so we'll come back to that one. One of the main thing about this part of the process, from finishing repairs to repairs like repairing an old rug, requires a lot of daylight. So even during the day or many times, they make sure that there's plenty of light and a bright daylight, so it's easy on the eye, but also gives you the ease to see these rugs, all the things that they have to do. So just about every part of this program is
Yousaf,
quite a tedious.
Explain what's going on there with the Saruk Bakara, because that's when we talk about having to put knots in with a needle.
Yeah. So in this case, for example, sometime artisans will make a mistake. So here, an artisan basically somehow the warp and weft got cut and all the knots went missing. So in this case, they're putting not only new knots, but they're also putting a new weft for weft and warp and weft. So this here gives you an idea of individually putting new knots, new fringes and everything. So this rug will look like as if nothing happened to it on the loom. So eventually this rug will have all the knots put in at the right places. But that's one of the things that Bunyaad is so unique, because this kind of work, if you make a mistake on the loom, will be a penalty or will be a charge to the artisan. But at Bunyaad, as a fair trade program, is helps and facilitates the artisans with the idea that yes, you can make a mistake, but the reality is you do have the intention to make a high quality rug. So, you know, this is where this group's work comes in, and they make sure that ultimately the rug looks amazing and a high quality, just like the artisan intended. So there's a lot of places that they're having to tie new knots. And
So
here,
talk about how the edges of, let's say, the coasters, which is much like how the edges of the rugs are done. If you could just show that.
So here you can see each coaster has a split in the back. So the artisan can actually finish, and then they actually split the coasters, and this is what they look like once they're separated, and their edges are finalized, their edges are finished, and now they're putting a final final finish. Imran is dikhana coaster wale na. So there's like a large variety of designs, there's a large variety of colors, and as you can see, so they're treated like just like old bigger rugs the artisans make. Each coaster is even individually finished, created by artisans. But then there's also very unique ones, and we're making lately. We're also doing a lot of coasters for the regional stores. So, for example, one of the new coaster is the wooden bridges of Pennsylvania. So those date back to 1600. But then we also have one of the fair trade store who rebranded themselves, and this is their new coaster, which is part of their brand. So this is something unique. Then there's also cats and dogs and like all kinds of variety of designs that artisans are working on. For example, there's also a store in Iowa City they have windmills, for example, and so there's the windmill. We also have the people on the bikes. Pella, Iowa. Yes, sorry. And then also we have the bikers as the kind of दूसरी तरफ वो bike bike वाले नहीं so it's upside down. So they're gonna turn it around so you can see new coasters that are coming in, people who love riding bikes, and so you'll have people who are into bike riding enjoying, and that's a new coaster as well, and so is the windmills as well. So there's a lot of new coasters in the works always. There's new designs. So whenever I talk to these guys, they're like, just so thrilled to see how many new ways rug art has become part of the everyday.
Whoops, Yousaf, we lost you. All right, so we have a backup plan for when we lose him. So let me just tell you what they're doing over on the other side. Wahid is, oh no, that's not Wahid. Can't see who that is from this far away. Oh, and now they're taking the camera. Well, this is the moment that we also show you what's going on. in the back kitchen. Because as we all know, when you work late, what's better than to work late than if someone's also cooking some food? So Nadeem is in charge of making lunch every day. That's part of what Bunyaad does for everyone that works here. And he is working late tonight and is making a late night snack. He's making shami kebabs, which is a mixture of chicken and lentils and potatoes that are put together into a patty and then with an egg wash, deep fried. It is a very, very popular Pakistani afternoon or evening snack. So this was it sounds like Yousaf is back. Yousaf, are you back?
I am back, and I found another phone.
Oh, isn't that handy? We showed them food in the meanwhile.
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
I'm gonna just try to see if I can hear you guys because I've chosen a different.
Okay, so we'll yell. Can you hear us?
For some reason.
So can you lift the camera up a bit so we can see how they're all, the coasters are all come through in one?
So
beautiful.
So here it just shows you different varieties of designs are going to be separated then.
So Yousaf, I have one question related to the coasters. And the question is, how do artisans feel about making designs of logos like ours in Kansas?
ਪੁੱਛਣੇ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਗਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਦਾ ਲੋਗੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ I can't turn on the speaker for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਦਾ ਲੋਗੋ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਦਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਅਨੋਖੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਗਈ ਹੈ new design. They love the idea that there's a new design. So it's really opening, their mind horizon, and basically, it's giving them opportunity to learn new things.
Yousaf, could you please go over to
show
the other side?
us another batch also.
Sounds good. Could you also then go over to the other side of the roof? And I think one last thing we're going to do, because we do need to keep moving, is that I'm going to have you show how they're fixing the rug on the other side. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
So, something like.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just going to use another phone. Basically, just gives you an idea of the new design they're doing. This is for a store in Kansas City. This is their logo, so they're getting a new coaster as well as some of the other stores. And then there is the Eagle, which has become a very popular coaster. Oh, and then we have the Wolf also. And so there's like new design. There is some dogs and cats being made. So, and then there's lots of birds as well.
Yousaf, do you mind, in the sake of time, if you could go now to the other side and show everybody what they are doing, and also show a little bit as you're walking of the greening. Oh,
okay. If you guys let me in, I will be able to talk again.
Oh, let you in. All right, we'll let you in. There you go.
My phone is back. So.
Thank you, everybody, for pivoting with us and helping us. Oh, be patient. I have to say, running this many cameras over a Wi-Fi over 5 floors is a little interesting.
Yes.
But knock on wood, the electricity is still on. So woohoo!
Well, it is a fully solar powered building, so makes a big difference.
That was your lead in.
Yes.
So fortunately, we don't have to worry about. This building has been solar powered since 2009. And so basically, currently it's producing 100% of its energy with the solar power, and only pretty much uses the green energy. So here's a variety of coasters that are being done right now. So this is the and then there's the traditional stuff like this stuff here. So there's never a dull moment. We're gonna move to the other side of the finishing department. Okay. I'm gonna, as you can see how dark, just so you understand how dark it is, and you know what difference it makes.
And currently what he's walking over is the rug stretching apparatuses, so what you saw in the video.
So here's an example of where artisans do make a mistake. So here is one of the rug.
All right, folks, I'm having trouble hearing Yousaf. Is everybody else having trouble hearing Yousaf? Okay. Yeah. Jim, can you hear Yousaf? Okay, I'm gonna just step in and talk. So basically, this rug came in. Oops, oh, did we lose the camera totally?
This takes a lot of.
Okay, so basically what he was showing you is, oh, there it is. The rug came in and they noticed that the design wasn't even the full way through. And so in order to even it up and get like the one side and the other side to be exact, they are now with a plier, with a, like a,
now we're back. Okay.
Oh, I was in the middle. That's okay. You take it.
Okay.
No, okay. So with like a pointy object, almost like a very narrow, very thin screwdriver, they put that in and then pound it down line by line. And they will do that. This rug is a 6x9 that they're working on. And so they will do that the complete length of the rug to totally correct the pattern issue. I mean, it's incredibly time intensive.
And this is how they have it all lined up. As you can see, they have the threads. So every row is perfectly straightened out. And this rug, it takes months. Can you do some edit the come kar de? 2 months for an 8x10. That's how much they're spending time just to straighten out a mistake that an artisan somehow made on the loom. So this is one of the unique thing about Bunyaad is that cost does not go to the artisan. Traditionally, that will be enough of a damage to the rug that artisan will pretty much get frustrated and not either give up rug making or figure out a creative way of not have to do as high knot quality. So this is where artisan don't have to worry about this, and the rugs get corrected according to the specs.
Yousaf, Joanne has an excellent question that I never even thought of, but I'm certain other people on the call are thinking. She wonders, will this extra work increase the cost of the rug because of the mistake?
No, do not, because this is what Bunyaad has a commitment to make sure that the quality product goes all the way to the consumer. Of course, those costs are upfront figured out, factored in, but the overall traditionally that would be a price added when the rug gets shipped out. Whereas Bunyaad figures these things out because the goal is to help artisan not to make this mistake. So this is not something happens every day, but when it does happen, it is not a cost to the artisan, nor it's cost to the consumer at the end. Any other questions, please? So I'm just gonna let you see.
We have one question, Yousaf, from design to finished product, how long does that generally take? Let's say for the 8x10 that they're working on. From
So
design to
just
finish.
as you saw, that the writing of the column can take almost a month or 40 days. The designing is on top of that. So you're looking at 8x10, that would take about a year and a half. ਬਈ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ 8-10 ਸੂਤਰੀ ਟੋਟਾ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਰੋਕਣਾ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲੱਗੇਗੀ ਜੀ 8-10 ਸੂਤਰੀ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੇ ਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ end ਤੱਕ? So I'm saying I'm raising this question to them, so ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ? ਹਾਂਜੀ ਟੋਟਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਕਸ਼ੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੇ yeah, they're saying it could take up to 2 years. So depending on the design, depending on the intensity of the design, the color combination, it could easily take up to 2 years. Yeah.
All right, Yousaf.
Yes.
It is time for you to descend the stairs. We are moving over to rug washing. So we have some in-flight entertainment because, again, washing happens during the day, not at almost midnight. So
I just want to show you quickly before I go.
I knew you had more to say.
I do have to say, these are actually pomegranate trees. They do produce pomegranates right here. So these pretty soon, they already have some pomegranates, very little ones. These were just 2 years ago planted. So they're already producing fruit, and in a few years, there'll be sizable bushes on the rooftop. The artisan love to plant flowers and plants on the rooftops. Okay.
All right, in-flight entertainment is starting now, Yousaf. You descend. Just, take the stairs easily.
नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला दीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला किनारी सखी निकली डोले दियारी चिट्टा चोला नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी.
All right. He wasn't as fast coming down as he was going up, everybody. Well, what we're doing now is we want to just quickly, Yousaf, emphasis, my love, on quickly introduce, oh, hello, introduce them to Wajid. I just don't know where Wajid got to. No, I don't think so. I think he was that way. All right, so I'll go find Wajid. Why don't we actually, okay, you quickly show them, I'll show Wajid, but we are needing to move along and Daud is waiting.
Oh, Yousaf.
This is the shami kebab being made right now, as you can see. How many of you made shami kebabs before? Anybody made shami kebabs? This is going to be the snack afterward, once everybody's finished.
All right, so Wajid is missing. Sorry, he went across. He's
Okay.
So we're gonna go over to Dowd.
Okay, let's do that.
So you need to mute it. So folks, as all right, let's see if we're all there. Are we all there? We're there. Okay, so what's really exciting is, as you know, we are mostly rugs. We talk rugs, 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 rugs. But in recent days, we have started, Bunyaad artisans have started making frames that fit perfectly for the quilling cards. And so we are lucky enough to be joining Dowd in his frame workshop on the other side of Lahore. And he is, once we give him the heads up that we're coming to him, he is going to be talking to us about how these frames are made and who he works with and what it means for their families. Dowd, are you there? Hello, Dowd. Dowd, are you there?
Let me, yeah, there they are. Anji, though, I think because they had a time. Could we unmute their
Trouble finding Dowd one with the microphone, but can they use one of the other mics, Jenny?
do you mind turning on their, okay.
Okay, so I'm probably going to Q&A time.
How about we go to Q&A and I will try to find people. How's that sound? If you see them in your communities, let us know. If you see them in Calgary or in Stockton or in, meanwhile, Yousaf, why don't you handle some questions? Laura and Sandra, if you could just keep an eye on, oh, you can't see the questions. Yousaf, you might not need to come over here. Meaning walk over here. Okay, sounds good. Any questions that you might have, feel free to unmute and go from there. Yousaf, you did have one question. Oh, good, excellent.
Yeah, so the rooftop in the building that you're in, is that kind of the one building that all of the rugs from all the villages come to be finished?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, all the finishing happens in one place because it has to be centralized. That does not include washing, iron, and other finishing.
Thanks.
Amr, could you text Dowd from your phone? I think he's.
like we can
Yeah,
hear
okay.
what's going on in the frame workshop at one of the cameras over there.
Yes.
Dowd too. So
Okay.
I don't know if we can
Oh,
get Dowd to come over there.
yeah.
And
Daud, could you come, Daud? यार 2 नंबर कैमरे ते आ सकते हो तुसी? I think they've turned down the sound because we told them earlier, so they. Oh, okay, here he comes. Daud, Hanji. Hanji, Daud. Assalamu alaikum, bhai. Daud, क्या हाल चाल है जी? Here comes Daud. बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक, हाँ जी. थोड़ा करीब आ जाओ जरा. थोड़ा करीब आ जाओ फोन. हाँ जी. थोड़ा जो ऊपर ਨੂੰ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਚਿਹਰਾ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਵੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ. हाँ जी, ठीक है, बिल्कुल. Oops. The हाँ जी. हाँ जी, हाँ जी. चलो ठीक है. The Imran, the guy who's managing the camera, he's also one of the woodworking artisans. So this is not something he's done before. So this is his first attempt. Hanji Daud. Hello. Oops, we lost them again. So meanwhile, somehow their cameras are frozen. Unfortunately. Yeah. Hanji Daud, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਸਾਡੀ? हेलो हाँ जी, हाँ जी. यार ਤੁਹਾਡੇ हाँ जी ਹੁਣ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਇਆ ਕੈਮਰਾ. ਹੁਣ ਇਮਰਾਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. ਅੱਛਾ, ਆਪਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਲੋਕ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਵਰਕਸ਼ਾਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ?
वर्कशॉप के ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ 10 ਤੋਂ 12 ਲੋਕ ਨੇ.
अच्छा, 10 ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ. ਅੱਛਾ, 10 ਤੋਂ 12 ਲੋਕ ਨੇ. ਔਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਯਾਨੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ?
ਜੀ ਸਰ, ਅਸੀਂ ਵੁੱਡ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਆਲ ਵਰਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਮਾਮ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਵਾਰਡਰੋਬਸ, ਵਿੰਡੋਜ਼, ਡੋਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਸੇਲਿੰਗ ਵਗੈਰਾ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਦਾ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. ਮਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਟੈਚ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ. ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਕੋਈ 3 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ. ਅਸੀਂ ਫਰੇਮਸ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੱਚ ਹਾਂ. ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੈਂਡ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਰੇਮ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ.
ਚਲੋ ਠੀਕ, ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ. ਠੀਕ. अच्छा, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ, so he's saying that they've been making the frames for Bunyaad for the last 3 years because this part of the program started after COVID. As many artisans, about a year and a half, they had no work. Were basically sitting around. In the past, the warehouse, all the woodwork for our warehouse, the offices was done by Bunyaad and his group, by Daud and his group. So even our server room, just about everything that was done back in 2009 has been done by Imran and Daud, the 2 brothers, and his group of people. So this relationship goes back many, many years. But now for the last few years, they basically came up and said, we need work. The problem with the kind of work they do, it's so seasonal. Unfortunately, high interest rates in the recent years, flooding in Pakistan, and then COVID has pretty much taken away any opportunity for work, consistent work. And so they basically said, here are the few items that we can make on a smaller scale. The one being the frames. They were not the frames for the cards that you see now. They were actually bigger frames. They'd done some work for another company. They used to sell things online. So they've done a variety of things over the time. But the consistency is what's always missing. You have work for a little bit and then you move on, and then you sit and wait for a very long time. So that's one thing they're hoping to achieve with Bunyaad, that they have a long-term consistent work opportunity. Daud, ਆਪਣਾ ਦਿਖਾਓ ਜ਼ਰਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਫਰੇਮ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਫਰੇਮ ਦਾ?
ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਨਾ ਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਫਰੇਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ
ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਰੇਮ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਸਾਡੀ ਫਰੇਮ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਛਾ red oak so they're using red oak right now and
ਔਰ ਇਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ mahogany
so that's the mahogany wood ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ why are you using this particular wood ਇਹ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ so that's the 6-inch frame
ਇਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਰੈਡ ਓਕ ਦੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਕੀੜਾ ਟਾਈਪ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੀੜਾ ਲੱਗਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਚਾਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਔਰ ਟੇਢੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਲਿਸ਼ ਦੀ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ
so the red oak the wood that they chose is known to not have any problem later on when a piece of wood is being used in somebody's home. It's aged quite well as don't have to worry about any bugs in the end, but also most importantly has the best grain. And on top of that, that's the next and most important question I'm going to ask. ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਕੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੀ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ
ਸਰ ਇਹਦੀ ਇਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੀ ਵੇਸਟ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਦੀ ਵੇਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਰੀਜ਼ਨੇਬਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ
so we can find a lot of waste wood which means pieces left ਜ਼ਰਾ ਦਿਖਾਣਾ ਆਪਣੇ pieces ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ frame ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਪੜਦੇ ਹੋ so they can actually find pieces like this right here that basically then they figure out what are useful pieces because otherwise this would be just a firewood ਜ਼ਰਾ ਉਠਾ ਕੇ ਦਿਖਾਣਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ
ਇਹ pieces ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਵੇਸਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਵੇਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੇ pieces ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੀ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
so they said this kind of piece so they can find some good pieces out of the waste otherwise they'll be used as a firewood and turn them into these beautiful frames so it's really upcycling repurposing everything that is good for the environment and at the end of the day a very happy customer because they have a very quality product and gives them the opportunity to have a consistent income. ਜ਼ਰਾ frame ਦਿਖਾਣਾ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਏ ਨੇ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਰੋਕ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਬੜਾ ਮੂਵ ਕਰਨ ਡਿਆ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਇੱਕ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਰੋਕ so this is one of the newest frame they've done they're using some stains regular stains which tends to be anywhere from natural color wood and then they're also giving other tints because there's a many variety of quilling cards and other things coming in so they figured out why not give these frames a new color so that's purple actually it's hard to see but it is actually a beautiful purple frame and that's the natural mahogany color okay and then there's the natural the red oak ਜ਼ਰਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਚਲੋ ਦਿਖਾਣਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸਟੈਪਸ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨੇ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਫਰੇਮ ਨੂੰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ So it starts with the basic, piece of wood that they find, and then it starts from that, and then they turn it into. Basically, they have to make sure that the wood will finish properly. अपना तारुफ कराना जरा बुजुर्गा दा
ਦਲਦ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਤਾਰਫ ਕਰਾਣਾ ਨਾਲ
ਜੀ ਭਾਈ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਕਾਰੀਗਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹਾਜੀ ਸਾਦਿਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਕੋਈ ਅਬਾਊਟ 30 ਇਅਰਸ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ
his name is Haji Sadik. He's one of the most senior woodworking person. He's over 30 years of experience.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਖਿਦਮਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਸਲ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਹਤਰੀਨ ਫਰੇਮ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਖਿਦਮਤਾਂ
to have a person like him who's such a skilled individual and aged, you need a wisdom from somebody like him to give you the quality material and give you the quality product in the end, and we learn from each other.
ਭਾਈ ਜੀ ਫਸਟ ਸਟੈਪ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਹੈ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਇਹ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਹੈ ਸ਼ੇਪਰ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਟ੍ਰੇਟ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ
So the first step is to straighten out the piece of wood that they find, and this machine is designed just to do that. But it also so just think that this wood would have been a firewood otherwise, turn into this beautiful frame, and it's all because Haji Sadik, individual like Haji Sadik, who knows how to turn waste into a high quality product. And so that's the first step that goes, and then it goes into planing this wood, making sure that it's all even, and so it doesn't bend or curve. And keep in mind, all these individuals, they live within 4 to 5 mile distance. So this is a community workshop. These people have been working together for years, and they know each other's families, each other's children. So this is not just work; it's a social time also. Like Daud's house is just literally 5 minutes from this workshop. Okay, and agla step so they have to go through to make sure that it's all clean and smooth. They keep putting it through till it's ready for the next step. Yeah, making sure that it's all.
ਤੇ ਇਹ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਹਦਾ ਸਾਈਜ਼ ਐਕੂਰੇਟ ਇਸ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਤੋਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਆਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਤੋਂ ਸਟੈਪ ਨਿਕਲਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਲੱਕੜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਆਰਾ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਤੇ ਚਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ
So after this part, then it goes into cutting to the right piece. So it's not like you found some piece of wood from from somewhere and you just turned it into frame. It's like really, so then it goes into the milling. And then they, of course, they have to have their protective gear, their goggles and their mask to make sure that it's, they meet the safety standards also. They do have gloves also, but they wanted to make sure it's at nighttime for you to see. So here now he's getting made into the right size. We've muted the sound because it is a pretty noisy environment otherwise. Okay, so it goes from there to the next thing is, again, going through that, finishing each piece of wood. And it goes back and forth many, many times. So it's not just like one time you cut this and you start putting together a frame.
This is like a back and forth many times. So each frame goes through many hands before a frame is finalized. ਹਾਂਜੀ now next step ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ?
ਭਾਈ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ
So now
frame ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ready ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
So
ਇਹਨੂੰ
now the
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
piece
straight
of wood
ਕਰਕੇ
is ready to go for the next step after this. So this is just like your base wood, just getting ready for the next part of the frame.
ਜੀ
ਅਗਲਾ ਦਿਖਾਣਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ step.
ਜੀ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਭਾਈ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਤੋਂ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰੋ
So then it goes to this machine, making sure that it's the right size cut, and then so here you have an individual piece cut, which has the edging also right there. That's where the frame, the card will sit in. So that's the designing the shape of the frame at the first step. We'll have pictures and other things available for you to see, but just know that this is just a rough, quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 step. Not just 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they're just like rushing through to make sure that we get to see. So then it goes to this part of the machine here.
ਭਾਈ ਜੀ ਇਹਦੀ ਨਾ ਇਹਦੀ ਰਫ ਕਟਰ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਤੀ ਇਹਦੀ ਕਟਿੰਗ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਐਗਜ਼ੈਕਟ ਇਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਦਾਨ ਹੈ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ
So now they're gonna, even though it's cut, now this is where they're gonna do the exact shape and making sure that the piece of glass would fit in, the card will fit in. So this is like really shaping the wood to where it needs to go. So I would say on average, this is my rough estimate based on how I've seen everything happening. A frame could easily take half hour to 45 minutes to put through the wood.
ਐਗਜ਼ੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਦਾਨ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ਰੈਡੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਫਰੇਮ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਮਰਹਲੇ ਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਇਹਦੀ ਕਲਮ ਕੱਟੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਤੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋੜਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ
So now this is like now the wood is ready to be cut into a frame, into the size and shape that the frame needs to be. So altogether, roughly about 15 different steps to make one frame possible. Could be even more. I might have missed 1 or 2 steps. So here they're just cutting quickly all the pieces that are going to come together to formulate a frame. Sounds good. I think we need to make sure Kesser knows where Kesser needs to spearhead that.
So one of the questions, Yousaf, is Dowd's group also the group that makes the upright looms?
They've done a lot of woodwork for the artisan here already, so they're quite versed. And so any woodwork that we need for the rug program, and there are many in the villages too. So this work gets spread around among many artisans.
If we find a local artisan who can do that, we make sure that it happens at a very local level, because we want to not only create jobs there, we also want to use the local materials that are designed to handle the climate of that region. So the wood is used at the very local level. But Daud and his group has done a lot of projects with us over the years. And they always have a wood sitting around, like aging, anywhere from 5 to 7 years. So we can source, easily wood from them that is perfectly aged. Yeah, and then those pieces are put together in the most, perfect way, and then it goes into the next process, and the next process, and the next process. And here you have a frame now. Yeah. So these are all so now they're first going to put now they again make sure that it's all even and smooth, and before they start sort of gluing together, pushing together. So this is just the final finish. Now, just keep in mind, there will be hand sanding after the frame is put together before they start putting stain and the finish. So that's a separate work after this. So here all the 4 pieces are, put together, cut up and ready to go together.
Yousaf, I think it's obvious that you and I have limited wood knowledge. So
Yes.
as we keep trying to think that he's almost done to the miter cut, I think we are realizing, well, but how many steps go into making a simple quilling card frame. We also may have to learn some of the proper names for these.
Of course.
That
is not my, yes. I might have embarrassed some people.
All right, so he's cutting the front.
ਹਰ ਕਲਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਗਿਲੂ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਫਰੇਮ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਟਰੈਂਥ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਕਲਮ ਬੈਠਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਵਕਤ ਤੇ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਇਹਦੀ ਸਟਰੈਂਥ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਐਸਾ ਐਸਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਫਿਰੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੰਸ ਲਗਾਈਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ
So now they're going to put the pins that are used in the back of the frame. I'm just going to show you some of those. That's what they're going to do right now before they put glue and everything together. And there's a variety of frames that you can see they have produced, and there's many more. These are all cards that we sell at our store, and I'm just going to show. There's many varieties, from the flex folding ones, folding frames, to the straight, trios. We have this kind, and then there's the little gift enclosures, and then we have the doubles also. I get to bring the cards that expire. So these were 2023 expired cards, so they can use them as mock. Okay.
Daud, it's now time for a surprise for you. So, Yousaf, if you could sit down on the chair next to Wajid.
Okay.
And Laura and Sandra, if you could highlight Yousaf and Wajid. Daud, are you there? Can he hear us?
Daud, sorry, आवाज आ रही है?
जी
जी ठीक है. Oh.
You're here now.
Oh, okay. I really need to see.
You need to move on.
Sorry, I need to see where I am.
Okay.
Yeah, you can turn up.
Okay, can you
Yep.
So. All right, are we all ready? Daud, we have a surprise for you. Do you want to grab your camera? Like we said, we want you to see everybody who is here tonight, because we know that something very important happened in your life recently, something that you are celebrating. Let me just get everybody here, add the spotlight. Whoops. Why are we on double? All right. So, Dal, I believe you had a little girl recently. You need to do the translation, honey.
ਸਾਡੇ ਖਾਨਦਾਨ ਚ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਦਾ
ਸਾਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਹੋਈ ਉਹਦਾ ਰੀਸੈਂਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਿਹਾ
ਜੀ ਭਾਈ ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਣਾ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਿਹਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਉੱਪਰ ਕਰਨਾ हाँ जी कह रहे ने सब लोगों ਨੂੰ ਯਾਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਖਾਨਦਾਨ ਚ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਫਰਦ ਦਾ ਇਜ਼ਾਫਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੁਤਲਕ ਤੇ ਦੱਸਣਾ
हाँ जी थैंक यू फॉर ऑल
जरा कैमरे के करीब आके ना जरा दसना गल करना
जी
मैं क्या थोड़ा सा ना कैमरे के करीब हो जाना हाँ जी ठीक है
जी
हाँ जी
बोलो
हाँ जी जरा दस हाँ जी
जी भाई जी मैंने अल्लाह ताला ने एक बेटी अता की है और मेरे माशाल्लाह 4 बच्चे हो गए ने ते 3 बेटियां ने एक
thank
बेटा
God
है
I have
माशाल्लाह
another child and it's a daughter and now I have 4 kids and me and my wife and my family are very thrilled to have a beautiful new daughter. What's that?
Okay. So in Pakistani tradition.
All right. So in Pakistani tradition.
So in Pakistani tradition, Dal the other day came to the office and announced his new daughter being born and brought sweets for the office. So Dal, tonight we would like to share those sweets across North America in celebration of your little girl. So we're going to turn on the gallery view. If all of you could turn on your camera, pull up your sweet. Just, and Dad may have to see this afterwards as he's going between 2 cameras. But everyone is holding up their sweet. And together, Yousaf, the proper words. Can you teach everybody a little Urdu? Mubarako. Mubarako.
जी खैर मुबारक थैंक यू
I don't know what you all are eating, but I'm eating this delicious fig. It's like a fig Newton went to Pakistan, put on about 3 pounds. And it's just this delectable little goodness of, like the inside of a fig Newton just got really, really big. I highly recommend it. I know there's a name for it, but I never ask long enough. I just usually put it in my mouth and I don't worry about the name. Yousaf, Sonali is asking, is it Doda? What is the name of it? This is halva, the big? Okay, a type of halva. Awesome. Well, thank you. Del, thank you for being patient as you were one of the last groups of the night. We realize you've been waiting for a very long time, but I just can't thank you enough for being part of this evening and showing us some of the amazing parts of the frame making.
Daud, आवाज आ गई जी तानू? Hello, Daud? हाँ जी कह रहे ने कि बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि तुसी
इन्नी देर तक इंतजार किया रात ਹੁਣ ਸਵੇਰ ਸੈਰੀ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ 3 ਵਜੇ ਦਾ ਔਰ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੜਾ ਲੰਬਾ ਦਿਨ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਔਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣਾ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਦਿਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੋ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੰਮ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ
And the word that the suites are out has been announced. So now finishing department's coming down, going, wait a minute, we want to say congratulations to Down too. So suites are being passed around. It's a little loud in here. We have one more person and we promise to make it fast because we are very aware of how long you all have been sitting there.
I gotta translate that.
Oh, sorry.
कह रहे ने कि भी ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਦਾ ਮਠਾਈ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਨਾ ਸਭ ਲੋਕ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਨੀਚੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਲਿਹਾਜ਼ਾ ਸਭ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਮਠਾਈ ਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਢੇਰ ਸਾਰੀ ਮੁਬਾਰਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਲਿਹਾਜ਼ਾ ਸਭ ਨੇ ਮਠਾਈ ਖਾਧੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਭਾਈ I can't tell you how big of a surprise that is, and to have such a celebration of my daughter, that makes me very proud.
Ahmed Saab, Basti, Ahmed Saab.
बहुत शुक्रिया यार जरा थोड़ा जिहा अगे आके ना दिखा दे अपना फ्रेम ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਕੜੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ So here's one of the double frames that he's holding, and there's many more. So here's the finishing department also down for the mithai for the sweets. And so there's going to be some tea after this, and we're all going to have a little bit of snack before people disperse. Fortunately, it's Sunday tomorrow.
So Yousaf, in the sake of time, could you introduce us to who is sitting beside you? I will say that, well, I'll introduce. This is Wajid from the washing department. We will send out, with this video, we'll send out a clip of him working during the day, because again, washing not done at midnight. But we have some amazing parts. But Wajid has some really great news that he wants to celebrate, especially on International Women's Day, but what some major things that have happened in his life. So, Yousaf, you are looking at this.
When I'm speaking English, not everybody knows that we're still talking and having a conversation. They're all so excited about the dessert stuff. अपना वाजिद कितनी देर तो कर रहे हो काम कालीन दी तुलाई दा सर 50 साल एज हो गया Okay, so Wajid is now almost 50 now. So he was about 19 years old when he started working with his uncle, who was one of the most expert rug washer. So he's been doing this for many, many years. कोई खास किस्म दे कलीन तो उनका शौक ज्यादा है बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅੱਛੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਸੇ को भी So he's like, we have such the diversity and the variety of rugs that we get to wash and complete. So it's really exciting to be part of a program like this where not just one type of rug, they're it's quite a diverse designs and colors that come together. Bunyaad ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਸਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਰਫ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੁਤਾਰਫ He said, Bunyaad is such a known entity and an organization that we don't have to say much because Bunyaad is known for such a unique designs and colors and even the finishing that Bunyaad does. कितने बच्चे हैं ताड़े? मेरे सिर्फ 4 बेटियां हैं, एक बेटा. How many? I just asked him how many kids you have, and so he has 4 daughters and 1 son. उम्र कितनी हो गई? उम्र सर बड़ी बेटी है वो सेकंड ईयर की पढ़ती है. So the oldest one is in 12th grade.
Okay, so she's okay. So among the 5 kids, they're all pretty much like, within a year and a half or something. So he says they're all kind of follow each other. सारे बच्चे स्कूल पढ़ते हैं ਤੁਹਾਡੇ सब स्कूल पढ़ किस जगह ਤੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ
ਸਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਕਰਗੜ੍ਹ ਇੱਕ ਪਿੰਡ ਲੱਗੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ
So right at the border between India and Pakistan, there's a small village where his family lives.
ਫਿਰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਣੇ ਪੈਂਦਾ
But they do come to the town for schooling. कौन लेके आंदा है कौन लेके
ਮੇਰੀ ਵਾਈਫ ਹੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ
So his wife drives them from the village to the school. So she's not only she's raising them, she's able to drive them because she had learned how to drive. So she actually drives the kids to school and picks them up also. अपनी बेटियां दे मुतल्लिक की सोचने तुसी
ਬੇਟੀ ਮਾਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਵੱਡੀ
नहीं सारे बेटियां दे
ਸਾਰੇ ਬੇਟੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਹੋਈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ
so what's the hope and plan for the future of your daughters?
ਖਾਸ ਤੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਣਨਾ
See, I really hope they become doctors, engineers, or successful people.
ਇੱਕ ਬੇਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ 에어ਫੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਪਤਾਨ
Yeah, so he's like, hopefully she might make it into the, because here in Pakistan, getting into some military position is it's more of a privilege, not just a, easy thing to do, mainly because you get a good education from that. ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਬੇਟੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ
ਬਾਕੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਬੇਟੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ
So he hopes that the youngest one becomes a professor. So there's like a wide range of dreams that he has for his daughters. He said, I want to make sure my daughters have the best education and the best future. कोई ऐसी चीज बुनियाद ਦੇ ਮੁਤਲਕ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਨਾਲ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਔਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
ਸਾਡੇ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਕਰ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ
Bunyaad is like it's been part of my life. It's all been it's like my parents. It's my mother and my father. Bunyaad is because it takes care of everything me and my family needs. And for me, it's like having parents. So ever since I've started working with Bunyaad, I never had to look back and worry about me or my family because Bunyaad is a program that's designed to help and take care of the families. And it's like basically there's many layers of making sure that artisans are well taken care, families have a better future.
Well, thank you, Yousaf. Wajid, this has been amazing. And
Wajid spearheads about a group of 4 to 5 people. And he's just like all the washing that you see, each rug has a unique washing that rug goes through. So it's not just like, you just put a rug in, that's it.
We're having trouble hearing on our end. I don't know if can everyone else hear Yousaf?
My mic went off. Sorry.
Okay. Well, that is one way of saying to Yousaf, it is time to end it tonight. Thank you so much for being here. It has gone a lot longer than we thought, and I'm just tickled to have all of you stay with us. It's been really exciting. It's quite energetic here, and we hope that you're walking away with the difference that fair trade can make in so many lives, but also how you are a part of making that difference. So on behalf of everyone here, I guess I'm the only one with the mic, so I get to say Hudafis and goodbye.
Thank
Can
you,
I-
Jenny and Yousaf.
Can I
And
say one thing,
everybody-
Jenny? I just want to say that thank you so much, Jenny. That was an amazing gathering of people that you brought together, and we really appreciate